plant parasitic nematodes. Just a little review. What are plant parasitic nematodes? No, so these are soil-borne microscopic organisms, multicellular organism that invade plant tissues. So the plant parasitic nematodes are widely distributed in sugarcane growing soils, with an estimated number of species of 5 in every field. So the population, abundance, and even proportion of species actually vary in every soil type, climate, and crop history. So just to have a deeper understanding about these plant parasitic nematodes, this group of nematodes actually classified into 3 according to their feeding habits. So we have the ectoparasitic nematodes, so those nematodes that feed on their plant tissues just by inserting their long stylet. Okay. The other one is the semi-endoparasitic, this one. So when you say semi-endoparasitic, it can penetrate not only the stylet, but the upper or the head region, yung first few portion ng kanyang anterior body region. The other one ay yung endoparasitic nematodes. So it's further classified into migratory and sedentary. So when you say migratory, it can penetrate inside the host cells and then it can move from one cell to another cell. And it can create tunnels inside the host tissues. The other one is migratory, is once na nakapenetrate siya sa loob, magstay na siya doon all throughout its life cycle, lalong-lalo na yung female. And then it will establish its nurse cells or yung kanyang feeding sites all throughout the life cycle, and then can produce numerous eggs. So the typical symptom caused by nematodes are short, thickened, and blackened primary roots with very fine secondary or tertiary roots. So yield loss across the sugarcane are estimated as high as 10% per plant and 7% per ratoon. So in sugarcane, there are only 2 important species of nematodes. So we have the Meloidogyne, or the root knot nematode. This species of nematode are capable of producing giant cells. So giant cells are produced by hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Ibig sabihin, increase in cell size and cell number, so resulting to root knot symptoms. And the other one is the root lesion nematode. So in particular, the Pratilencus species. So it can cause severe root lesion and later on develop dark and rat tissue cavities, which eventually lead to death and decay of host tissues. So other reported species infecting sugarcane are ectoparasitic nematodes such as the Cypinema, or the dagger nematode, and Helicotylencus, or the spiral nematode. Okay, as for the root knot nematode, so it's a sedentary, as I explained in the earlier slides. It's a sedentary endoparasitic nematode. It's parthenogenetic, so hindi niya kailangan yung male nematodes to produce offspring. And in sugarcane, there are several species of Meloidogyne associated. No, it includes the Meloidogyne incognita. And then Meloidogyne actually has a wide host range of all the nematodes species. So it can infect weeds and other perennial and annual crops. So in the sugarcane field, you can find Meloidogyne mainly in lighter and sandy soils. So as you can see here, ito yung mga prominent and apparent symptoms niya, yung root knot. Okay. So ito yung eggs. This is the infective juvenile penetrating the root tissue, and once na nandun na siya sa loob, magde-develop na siya into adult female, and then to produce its nurse cells, and a source of its nutrition, no? Then ito yung eggs. Okay. As per the Pratilencus species or the lesion nematode, so yung Meloidogyne is a sedentary, but this one, ito naman ay migratory. So migratory endoparasitic nematode, it creates tunnels. So leaving brown to black cavities on the tissues. So outside, it can produce many red lesions, yan, doon sa surface. So it's also parthenogenetic, and it can be found actually in every cane-growing type of soil. Okay? So as for the management, so crop monitoring is the most important. So crop monitoring, you can do soil tests since yung nematodes ay soil-borne to confirm what are the species present in the soil before planting, and then refer to the threshold level. So I found one study guide on nematodes of sugarcane. Meron na silang identified threshold level for Meloidogyne and Pratilencus. So for the Meloidogyne, 200 individuals of nematodes per plant and during the first ratoon. But if it is older ratoon, so medyo mas malaking population ng Meloidogyne, about 600 plus to so that you can translate it into yield loss. Yan. And then sa Pratilencus, 300 for plant, and then for the first ratoon, and then 900 plus for the older ratoons. Then another management practice is we have to avoid Plough-out. So ibig sabihin yung mga remnants na mga tanim, kailangan tatanggalin, and then if possible, kailangan mag-replant. Another thing is related to sanitation. No? Harvest Plough-out blocks early to give a maximum break before planting other crops. Possible ay leguminous crops. Then ensure fallow crop are kept. Fallow meaning yung i-rest mo yung area free from other plants or crops, so particularly free of weeds and volunteer cane. So this is to avoid build-up of root knot nematode and root lesion nematodes. Another thing that I encountered in the guide is actually the use of green cane trash blanket. So instead of burning yung mga leftovers or yung mga trashes produced during harvesting, hinahayaan lang siya doon sa field as trash blanket. So it will encourage yung moisture and reproduction of beneficial nematodes, okay, mga predatory nematodes. And then related to the green cane trash blanket is you have to practice minimum tillage, because minimum tillage will prevent the actually para hindi mawala din yung nakalagay na trash blanket, and then to prevent build up of plant parasitic nematodes. Okay, the other one is can also use registered chemical nematicide. So basically, ang nakita ko lang na registered nematicide so far are yung mga Phenamipos, okay, or we called it ano ba yung brand name, Nemacor, yung nasa list. Okay, I think this is the end. So I just want to recognize yung mga references na ginamit for this presentation. And of course, if you have questions, you may contact me with the following contact information. And that's it. Thank you very much.